Good morning, everyone. This is Miracles and Wonder Down Under. It's Louise here, the Headless Buddha. Yes, I've been running around like a headless Buddha. You may say a headless chook, but it's a headless Buddha for me. I am so excited because I'm doing this by myself. Heaps has been happening. Me and Mel are powering away with the Perfect Present course. I've got a few people who are almost completed the course, which is very exciting for us, that they are sharing their feedback about what they're experiencing and the new level of self-awareness that they're gaining. For me, it's been a massive journey of self-awareness, and where to start with that? Feels like does feel like peeling back the layers of an onion. And of course, I'm a big Shrek fan, so you know, I often feel like, oh, the ugliness inside will be seen, and what will I do with that? And you know, I'm a big multitasker, always doing a million things at one time, and right now even just looking for something that I want to try and put up on the screen for you. I had a fabulous opportunity to hang out with friends yesterday and their kids, and it was a really nice experience of just not feeling like I had to do anything. Everything I did, I felt like I really wanted to do, which was, I've always thought that was the case, but as I've been going through the Perfect Present process myself, I've really got this sense of where I have been trying to find myself, trying to find a way to please. And I think that's, you know, that sense of not wanting to be put in the boxes, so being in reaction. In fact, I've got a poem here that I just wrote. I'm part of Tiferet Journal's Poetry Month Challenge. So this week is Poetry Month. And we're writing, there's a group of us, 14 I think, who are writing a poem a day, which goes up on their Facebook page. So I encourage you to check out the April Poemathon Challenge for Tiferet. You don't have to write a poem a day. If you're inspired to, we'd love that. But we'd love you to read some of the poems and comment on them, because it's really exciting for us to be celebrating Poetry Week by being prolific poets that we are. Now today, each daily gives a prompt, and the prompt was I'm still collecting. And I got a sense of collecting scars, collecting stories, collecting, and but this is what I came up with. I believed my lies. Well, they were never meant to be lies, but they turned into false truths, niceties, creating a place in a world where I didn't think I had a place. I couldn't find a way to live in the boxes, so I did the best I could. I would rather be a hippie than not care about the earth. I would rather be someone who cared than didn't appear to care. It was sanctioned to care in our family, so one day I knew the rebellion would be recognised for care. I knew there were boxes to tick, and I wanted so badly to tick the right ones. I was doing what I loved. Now I see the reaction. Acting in fear of not knowing love. Making the statement that I'm not who they think I am. Becoming a caricature of what I thought I was once. Stuck in the box of believing I have to be that. Entertaining so as not to appear lacking in energy or emotion. Laughing to move people out of their doubt and disappointment. Then turning home inwards, beseeching someone else to be the one, demanding them to tell me it's all going to be all right. That putting off being me, resetting the emotions, manipulating, owning myself, and yet saying the thing that would provoke. Keep laughing at my life that feels like a cruel joke, seeking and searching for the solution to this incessant niggling that something isn't quite right. Even though I was doing everything in my power to find the truth, it was outside of myself, collecting anecdotes, modalities, mastery in other people's way of life, and they seeking solutions to their own quandaries. Dissatisfied because it wasn't my truth, looking for a community to belong to that would get me, trying to see where I was like them, see what parts of me would be liked, but only ending up seeing a shadow of myself, a projection of myself. So today I ask myself, am I still collecting? And of course, part of me answers that question. Yes, I love being a steptoe son of the world, going around and collecting all the odd bits and bobs that I see and sharing them prolifically with people. I love that we have the internet and you can, find things that really get you excited and send them to other people who you know will get excited about them. That really, I don't know, it just makes me happy. So while I'm talking to you, I am learning how to do the internet. I love that we have all this diversity of tools, and I love that I have my own shadow today on a day when I am talking about that a bit. In that sense that the shadow is not a shadow, it is you. You are everything. Like there's no, even though my poem says things are, not as they appear or whatever, there is that sense that things are much more than they appear. They are extraordinary. They are every moment this miracle and wonder to be experienced by our senses. And I've spent a lot of my life thinking that if I learnt the lessons, if I could just get it right, if I could move on, evolve consciousness, that I would be able to create the life that I want on the planet. Just the sense lately of missing something in that. There's a real miss in that. It's like everything's hoarded up for the future. It's no different for waiting for heaven, when you die. It's like, when I get better, everything will be possible for me. So really just now getting this understanding of what is possible for me right now. And it's not something that I have to create or be kind of facilitating. It is here now. I've also been going, well, what happens to all my passions if there's no right and wrong and I'm not in duality anymore? Where do I go with that? I've been really fighting it somewhere. But one of the things that I was really excited to share with you today, and it's interesting because it is that sense of what are you going towards, not what are you running away from. And I really have been an activist all my life. As I said in the poem, I would rather be a hippie and be caring than not be caring. So I have a real passion for the Indigenous cultures of this planet, but in a very unique way, because I think we're all Indigenous. And so we are, there's a real sense that all of us were born to this earth, born of this earth. And yeah, spirit, manifest in body, but at this moment we're having this amazing physical experience. We are being blessed with the sense of taste and touch and all these amazing experiences that only we get to have right here. Like it just feels so extraordinary that we get blessed with this experience. And at the moment, there are many, many people going, I love this place. I love the flowers. I love the animals. I love the trees. I want to see those things prosper and survive for future generations, for me to enjoy right now. I want to be able to stop and smell the roses. I don't want to be wondering if the roses are still going to be here tomorrow. I want to really be just stopping and smelling the roses today. But for many people, the things that are knocking on the door is the kind of crazy stuff that's going on where we are destroying parts of the earth and we are really messing with the balance of nature. So I just wanted to acknowledge the Wangan and Jagalingu people, their family council. These are Aboriginal traditional owners who are very concerned about a big mine or a big development going on in the Great Barrier Reef in the Galilee Basin, which is up north from where I am in Queensland. And it's you know, around the Great Barrier Reef kind of area, it is a coal mine that will affect the Barrier Reef, but it'll also stop the traditional owners' access to their right to country. Now, when I was just recently in America, I was so distressed. I went to Red Rocks amphitheatre, which is this most, anyone who sees it would be moved by the power of that earth shifting up through the small layer of living matter and pushing that rock out. It's like the heart of the earth coming out, you know? And you can feel that that place has been revered. Like, even in recent times, from 1930, they started doing concerts. And that's pretty much where our understanding of the history of it stems from, is that this amazing amphitheatre of rock has been turned into a massive rock concert amphitheatre. And so since the 1930s, when people went there and did smaller concerts, it's been developed and really owned and claimed as a place where we come together for a celebration of song and dance and music. So my thing was, you know, when I was growing up in Australia, there was no recognition, there was no acknowledgement of traditional owners here. Over time, that has changed. You go to any national park, there's a sign up. Lee says, these people took this land for 40,000 to 70,000 to, you know, 100,000 years, and we don't really know, you know, because they left no trace. They kept this place intact. They were part of this place. They could survive in this harsh environment. So these signs are up now. You know, at the beginning of events and meetings, people acknowledge the traditional owners, which I find fabulously amazing, and that people know the names of whose country they're on. When I went to America, I found that not to be the case. People, when the short memory we have, you know, of what we've perpetrated on these people is very limited. So I'm really fascinated to go, how do we, and integrate's probably not the right word to use after the history of colonisation that these people have perpetrated on them, but their wisdom, their knowledge, their way of being on this land that fully honoured this land. I am fascinated by it. So whenever Indigenous people stand up and go, I'm looking for backing, I'm really interested in what their story is. So at this point in time, you can go to the Get Up campaign that Adrian Baragaba, one of the Wangan and Jagalingu people's mob, he's standing up and saying for his people that they don't want this thing to happen. They want their lands to be kept intact. They want their rights to the land to be kept intact. And they want the Great Barrier Reef kept intact for future generations, because they know it's like a big lung of our world. It's like part of us. It's like, whew, it's our breath. So if you want to find out more about that, if you look up Stop Adani Community Run, you will find them in conjunction with Get Up, who are a fabulous organisation who look for popular causes that are not being recognised by the governments and local people. Well, not local people, it's local people who bring it to Get Up's attention. That would be fabulous, because our land and culture means everything to us, and it's not the stagnant culture, it's this ever-changing culture that we are so blessed to have. Oh my goodness, you know, this amazing ever-changing culture. We have this fabulous connection to our own experience, that we are growing in how we see these things all the time. I am really wanting to share something with you, but it's not seeming to come up at the moment, so that's fine. So I will just go on to something else that I wanted to put out there today. So we've talked a bit about Tiferet, the Poetry Month Journal. We've talked a bit about the Great Barrier Reef and what's happening in the Indigenous people there. Part of my job is to be fully emotionally embodied and to say what I feel like is happening around me, because I feel like a bit of a sponge to that. Just had this most amazing journey out into the world where I got to have experiences that felt good. Then I came home to the mundane bills and everything, and I do separate. I do still see these things as preferable or not preferable. And as part of the Perfect Present, we've been working on some other free gifts to you guys. So, you know, you can go into miraclesandwonderdownunder.com, and on the first page you'll see where you can get these free gifts. And one of the things that we send out is called Reasonable Doubt. I just wanted to read a little bit out of that for a minute, and it goes, finding the reason in the unreasonable. I know there's a reason, but how do I make sense of what's happening when the situation is not reasonable? We meditate to feel connected, calm and capable. We believe the more relaxed we are, the healthier our influence, not just on our own body, but on all the people we encounter. Then we watch the news. We believe that it's important to keep informed about what's going on in the world so that we can be part of the change we're invested in for all of humanity. Not so relaxed and healthy. Somewhere between these 2 points, tranquility and trauma, it feels like life is giving us mixed messages, and the distress we feel is not just our own. We feel the distress of people across the planet trying so hard to catch up when it looks like there's too much to be done. What if none of this was true? What if there was something else going on that we hadn't even considered? What if you could understand your distress from another standpoint? And it goes on to say how whatever distresses we're feeling, whatever is going on, it's saying, pay attention. And, you know, as so many saints and sages have said in the past, know thyself. And as Mel's saying, as a living master, you pay attention and become aware of the way you make sense of the world, the rules, the beliefs, the expectations and ideals. Your self-awareness is liberating. It makes visible your preconceptions and biases. All this isn't good or bad. We're not looking for the shadow to fix it. It's simply how you operate. And once you know how this works, you can make life effortless. So it drops you into the moment. It brings you to this place where you're having an experience just for the sake of that experience, and that it's the loudest point for you. You're bringing your attention back to you. So it's like asking that question, if that Adani thing lights up for you, because Adani is the company doing the drilling in the coal mine thing, you know, if that really kicks something for you, it sets off all this chain reaction of emotions, or it appears to set off a chain reaction of emotions. This is your cue. It's your loudest point. There is something there for you. Now, it may be jump into action. It may be what story is there for me to unwrap? What story have I been telling myself about me and the world that is lighting up at the moment for me to get a greater awareness of? If you're out there blaming and judging and getting upset and feeling frustrated with that and feeling like there's no action you can take, you can always bring it back to you and ask yourself, if this wasn't about someone else, what is this about? If it wasn't about outside, if it was about me, this is my reaction, this is my experience. Okay, we're interconnected and there is no line in the end, but to be able to bring it back to yourself, figure out what is going on for you. That's where the real, bliss of life lies, because in that way, no matter what the experience looks like on the outside, you're always coming back to the place where you can take action, where you can be aware, where you can have the experience, where you are in the present moment, not in some future hero's journey story of how you can change things or make things better. There's so many things happening every week that I want to bring to you, and this new format of me doing the Miracles and Wonders show, you'll be seeing Mel some more, definitely. And of course, you just heard some of her words, which, you know, are powerful in and of themselves. I have a collection of footage of events I go to, like my trip to America just now. I met so many people, and sometimes I go, oh, I'm so blessed to see the unseen. And I don't say the unseen, but I just feel like I get this opportunity particularly when I go into people with their poems, and I offer them this perception of other people seeing their divinity. They reveal their stories. They share these extraordinary lives and extraordinary stories, and not one of them is extraordinary. They are all equally, incredibly, masterfully, I don't know what the word is, like, I mean, it is alchemized in one way, because it is like, how does a flower grow? We can do all the chemical breakdown and all the scientific, we know how this works. But in that fabulous movie, I Am, he talks about how, we think the universe is like a machine. Well, if we pull a machine apart and put it back together, it still goes. But if you cut up your family dog and put it back together, what's the bit, that little missing bit that we don't have that makes the machine work again? Well, I often think about that, because that growth of a plant, like, it is a miracle. And at the moment here, we've got plants popping their flowers everywhere, even though it's winter in this tropical rainforest environment. There's some beautiful things flowering, and I know the other side of the world, there's things popping out the snow. And that miracle of life is what's all around us all the time. And we are the flowers. Like, we have this lifespan, this life story that's connected to all these other things. And each person sees that very differently. They tell the story of that very differently. And one thing I know for sure is I love telling stories. So as I'm developing the concept of this show, you will start to see it change its format, and a lot of the videos that I've been collecting of people and their journeys through life, I will be sharing on this show. There's so many people with gifts that are silently spoken. They are wandering around doing their gift and they don't even know. So I love that opportunity to drop in with them and see them, acknowledge them, let them have that experience. They are looking for it, obviously. They're stepping in and going, wow, yes, I want a poem. Yes, I want to be seen. Yes, I want to do the perfect present course. They're coming in because it does not matter how many times we are told. I can go out there seeking and searching forever. And yet I still come home and go, oh, what's special about me? I'm not important. Oh, if I go and visit my friends, I have to bring it. I have to bring some food. I have to bring my entertainment. I have to bring my energy. I have to bring some tricks for the kids. I have to bring it all, And there is a sense of obligation. There's a sense of exchange. There is a sense of, I'm doing this so that I am allowed to have a space in the crowd. It's like I'm buying. It's not my own integrity, authenticity, but it's like I'm buying my space. If I wasn't giving, if I wasn't contributing, I would not feel like I deserve to be. That sense of exchange is so prolific in our culture, that sense of, what are you contributing? Like, do you deserve? Like, I mean, even our money system, it's like, if you don't have money, you don't eat. I love that film. And I probably mentioned it before, but it's on YouTube and you can check it out. It's called La Belle Verte, which is the beautiful green. And it is such a heart-opening movie. And I love that sense that in that movie, people can walk around and just by an interaction with them, you are moved. You are part of their viewpoint. It's this opening up of the flowers, you know, like one flower opens, the other flower opens. I love someone was talking about the biting ants, I think it's the green ants they have in America, where they will get on you and then they all wait and then they all bite at the same time. And they have that knowing of when it's time to get you. And sometimes in our world we feel like that. We feel like, God, everything's coming down on me at once. How am I going to cope with this? And it is really, and I can say this to you, but you'll go, oh yes, but my situation's different. But it is only when we're judging those things as bad, wrong, unacceptable, negative, that that overwhelming feeling can come in. If this is just another experience to be had, as I just said on the Successful Teachers Support Facebook page, it's ironic that we are always learning. We're always learning the thing that we appear to be teaching in the world. Whatever it is that we are, there's a sense, and that will be true if I believe it also. So the mystery is still intact, because sometimes the truths are very irreconcilable. They feel irreconcilable, but they're actually just coexisting. So while you're out there in the world this week, I challenge you to look at the coexisting truths from a new standpoint, because the one truth that we all know is everyone's out there doing their best, and sometimes we just bag ourselves out. But I'd love you to come in from that place of going, I am doing my best. Give yourself a break, be gentle with yourself. And be a love detective. Look for that evidence of love. People wanting to be loved, people wanting to give love, people wanting to know they belong, that they're safe, that they can trust themselves. So I'll be out there in the world playing with that idea of trusting my own intuition, trusting myself. We'll be on the Perfect Present course with people and our community that is part of being in the Perfect Present course. I've got a lot of stuff out in the world this week, doing circus with kids and families as part of the school holidays here in Australia. So I'll be around the Gold Coast. If you check out my Circus Tribe website, you'll find some more information about that. And I hope if you feel like this has kind of stimulated any questions for you, just contact me. I'm always excited to be working with groups of people. And also this week is Youth Week in Australia. So this Friday I'll be part of a poetry slam for young people down at Kingscliff. And tonight we've got oils at the Narang Centre. So if any of those things light up for you, follow the pathway they take you on and enjoy your journey. And the only way you can enjoy the journey is to have this moment fully embodied. And when I say the only way, if you're not feeling fully embodied at the moment, that's the loudest point for you. So keep with your own self-awareness. And I feel like I need a catchphrase. I feel like I need some like stamp of the Headless Buddha's approval. And I do love when I'm doing my poetry to have my little stamp and go chink when I finish the poem before I read it to someone. Chink, it's like my little stamp of approval. But I guess that's the breath and that's the moment. And I look forward to meeting you guys at the meeting place. Over and out.